Ladies and gentlemen, welcome everyone to the Husky Expo 2023. We're coming to you live from the stage in the ballroom in the Husky Union Building. Beautiful day in sunny Seattle, and we've been waiting a long time. It's been a long time coming for this event to come together and make sure to get all of you all the action happening today. Isn't that right, Skin?
Absolutely.
Yes, and just to introduce ourselves a little bit, I am Monkey Farts 88, currently a fourth year at the University of Washington,
Uh,
and I'm here joined by with the wonderful.
I'm Skin, aka Akash, and I'm a junior at the University of Washington. I'll be your other caster this evening. And before we begin, let's thank Razer and Seattle Built PCs for sponsoring this event. If you are in attendance at HuskyX right now, be sure to check out their tables. Razer, I guess wave or something if you can hear a sound now. Just say hi.
Over
Woo!
there somewhere.
Yeah. Our esports programs, they seek to build and foster community. They open doors to the vast career opportunities in the field of gaming and promote the virtues of healthy competition. We hope you enjoy being a part of our community, and we invite you to get more involved because if you're interested in participating in events like this one, if you want to cast, you want to work behind the scenes, you should follow us, here on Twitch or, on our social media, U of WA Esports, or you could even join our UW Esports Discord. We are also excited to announce that UW Esports is looking to hire student staff positions for the 2023-2024 school year. More details will be provided on all of our platforms, and if you have any questions, you should visit the UW Esports table, which is like over there.
Hi, UW
They'll be
Sports.
tabling until 4 p.m., I believe. Maybe a little longer, actually. We'll see.
And last but not least, UW Esports is hosting tryouts for the 2023-2024 school year for Overwatch, League of Legends, Rocket League, and last but not least, Valorant. All positions are open. Sign up is ready, and maybe I'll see you if you're trying out for Valorant. So yeah.
All right, this is the big one. This is the big one. This is a very exciting one. It is Husky X Tournament, the Valorant Husky X Tournament, and it's the grand finals. We've got two incredible teams here. We've got F5 Run It Down and XDO Noobs.
Just great talent all around. Exo Noobs, last year's winner, as some of you may know. F5 Run It Down. Yeah, they may have beat my team yesterday, but we'll give it to them. They earned the spot for the finals.
On both of these teams. Let's talk a little bit about them. Let's look at XDO Noobs first, though. Of course, them being the winners of last year, led by the very capable Donuts. Right, he's like the face of the brand, You think
Oh
Dough
yeah.
Noobs, you think Donuts. But you know who you also think? You think of Quack, you think of Benny, you think of Arock. Just all the star players who really helped their team just sort of get the W that they did last year in such a thrilling 2-1 victory over Sidechicks. And now they're looking to make that a two-peat, even though they are no longer Dough Noobs, but the ex-Dough Noobs, they can still, come back together with one final hurrah,
Yeah.
secure their spot in Husky X greatness.
Prove themselves as the best players in all of University of Washington.
Yeah. And on the other side of the board, we've got F5 Run It Down. Not as well known, but they do have UW Mitchell, right? He's one of the players for UW Esports, also super talented, and him and his squad have blitzed through the ranks, just decimating teams left and right. And they've made it to the finals as well against ex Donoobs, and that is an impressive feat, especially when you're playing against people like Monkey Farts over here to get there. Just so they did so well to make it all this way. Let's see if they can continue this Cinderella run and
Yeah.
take the trophy
Let's
home.
be honest, I would be playing today, but I just wanted to sit next to my good friend Skin here and cast alongside him.
Absolutely, yeah. You can tell BFFs. And yeah, obviously, Monkey Farts threw for content, but other than that, they're still good because they still beat Monkey Farts swing for content. So
Yep.
very talented team. Yeah.
Yeah, as for strats in this game, I think we're gonna see Donoobs. They have a background in competitive gaming. They got a strat book available, so they're probably gonna be sticking to that. F5 Run It Down, I believe they're more of a like puggy type team. UW Mitchell does have he's got his tips and tricks here and there, as he also is a UW Esports player. I think we might see some running it down today.
Absolutely. That's what you hope to
Although,
see from a team like F5 Run It Down.
yeah, Mitchell though yesterday he's kind of the anchor for F5. He does not do much running it down
He
actually.
keeps them grounded.
Yeah, he keeps them grounded. Kind of just sits and spawn. So yeah, we'll see.
Kind of like, an anchor, sort of sinks down like a
Yeah,
rock.
yeah.
Yeah. Good to see it. Anyway, we got the other players on this team. I'm not too familiar with most of these other players. I was hoping you could tell me a little more. Right? We've got Chung, we've got Spike, we've got Jun, we've got 1v9 Matcha. Did any of these players stand out to you during yesterday's game?
I mean, they all definitely got strong aim. They're all very high ranked players. Yuta Mitchell was definitely the star player during the match we played against him. He dropped almost like 30 against us or something like that, just going crazy on Killjoy. So yeah, expect to see some high intense action from Mitchell versus some of these OGs.
And that's just the exciting thing about such a high level, high profile game of Valorant. You know that neither of these teams are going to back down. We've got Valorant gift cards on the line. We've got pride on the line, most importantly. And for Donoobs, we've got a title defense on the line.
That's true.
Yeah.
And those $50 gift cards, right, for all the players?
All the players. That's pretty good.
That's big money.
You could buy a knife.
You could buy one skin
Buy
on
one
Valorant
knife skin,
standards.
2 gun skins. That's a lot. That's a lot. That may not sound like much, but that is a lot. I gotcha. All right, and we're waiting a little bit longer on both of these teams. Are experiencing some mild tech issues, so there is going to be a little bit of a delay. But very, very soon, we are going to be heading into this game, and when they decide their maps, we will be able to update you with the picks and bans. In the meantime, let's run into this a little bit. It's going to be a best of 3,
Yep.
both these teams against each other. And, first person to win 2 games, first team to win 2 games, takes it all home, takes the trophy, takes the gift cards, takes it all. uh, Now that we're still here, right? Let's talk about some fun stuff, right? Uh, I briefly touched upon this last game. Monkey first, what knife skin do you use?
I use the unupgraded Glitch Pop Dagger.
All right, the unupgraded. That's a little classy. That's got some style. It's got some
Yeah.
substance to it for sure.
I'm a sentimental guy. I love the OG skins.
Yeah. Do you happen to know by any chance the knife skins that any of these players use? It's really out there. It's a shot in the dark.
I think Quack might be a candy cane user. Maybe
Quack-
that's Zupu too. I don't remember.
All right. So candy cane user. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's too bad we
Okay.
didn't see any of Zupu 2 during this tournament. He's a great player, one of the OGs from last year's UW Esports team.
All right. So that's fun. All right. So can Donoobs bring themselves to 2 years of HuskyX dominance, or is F5 about to make Donoobs 5? We're gonna see very very soon as these players are getting into the lobby. This is very very exciting. All the players are almost in. We're going to be hopefully getting to picks and bans in just a moment here. So stick with us just for a little bit longer. And while we are sticking with us, we need to talk about what's something that's been on your mind. You know,
No, it's a little off topic, but how about that weather today? It's a real scorcher out here.
absolutely. Like we are definitely feeling it inside the North Ballroom on campus. It's a lot of people in this space.
Just a great day to be inside with playing
Be
some
inside,
Valorant.
hunched over a desk, playing
Yeah,
Valorant. Perfect
perfect
kind of
weather
weather for
for it.
that sort of thing. Absolutely. And you can feel the excitement in the air.
Yeah, the
We
energy
got
is
the
really
audience.
through the roof. I could,
We got the audience over here. Give us a cheer. Just give us a little cheer. We need to get the crowd hyped up, get the players a little hyped up.
yeah. Where's our audience section at? Yeah, that's some energy right there.
Some energy. We've definitely got energy for sure out here. We're going wild. Just yeah. I love Monkey Farts too. He's great. He's a great guy. But yeah, we're still waiting a little longer for the game to start. I believe all the players are pretty much in the lobby. So should be getting the picks and bans in a moment here. We're just gonna have the teams run over the rules real quick, make sure that there's no confusion. And once again, another shout out to Razer and Seattle Built Esports, Seattle Built Gaming, rather, for supporting this event. Obviously, all this huge venue, the setups, all that stuff, might not have been able to do it without them. I think they really helped contribute to this wonderful, wonderful tourney. But yeah, while we wait for those map picks to come in, because they are taking a little longer than we thought, let's talk about Let's talk about yesterday's rune. You know, how did these teams get here, right? First, let's look at no noobs.
The first and second teams.
Huh? Just like how do they get to the finals? You know, like semis, quarters.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I believe once playoffs hit, it was Donoobs and Side Chicks on one side of the bracket, and then which was interesting to see because that was a rematch of last year's finals, and Donoobs was able to pull through, proving themselves twice against Side Chicks. That's kind of been a long time rivalry there, so it was fun to see that.
Yeah, and it's
And
always exciting to see a match with them. And
yeah,
Donoobs managed to come up on top yet again. I think that puts them at maybe like a 2-2. So that's still a very intense rivalry
yeah, these guys
overall.
have been sticking together for probably over a year now, playing together, scrimming. They
Yeah.
definitely got that chem built up like crazy.
And F5 run it down. Semifinals, they were against WSU Esports, which is not affiliated with WSU in any way, shape, or form. I would like to add, WSU Esports. What was the inspiration for that team name, Monkey Parts?
Um, you know, the deadline was coming in. We didn't have too many ideas, and we just thought it would be a good goof and a gaff to make it to the finals, and with WSU as our name. But unfortunately, we
So
didn't
that
make it
Donoobs
there.
could defend
F5 took us down.
UW's honor.
What was that?
Donoobs could like defend UW's honor
Yeah,
in
yeah,
some way. All right, no, I respect that. I
yeah,
respect that. You know, trying to bring our school together against like a common enemy.
yeah.
Now, a little bit of a villain role. I like that. I like that. Okay. Meanwhile, we are actually going to be getting into the Mac picks already. This is pretty exciting.
Map bans are underway.
Map bans are other way. The first team to ban a map is F5 Run It Down, and they've chosen to ban Pearl. Meanwhile, Donoobs have chosen to ban Lotus. Those are the two newest maps. It is interesting that they do ban the two newest maps right off the bat. Really might show that they're more interested in sticking to like, you know, what they think is like tried and true, what they've tested, they've fought battles through, you know? And the first map, it seems, that we're going to be playing on is actually going to be Fracture. Donoobs are going to be starting on attacking side, which is generally the more favored side. What do you feel about that first map pick?
Yeah, Fracture is definitely an interesting pick from F5 because it's hard to pug on that map. It's definitely teamwork side, one of the more teamwork sided maps compared to the map pool in this tourney. So yeah, we'll see if they have any coordinated strats coming out on defense.
Maybe they're turning over a new leaf. Maybe they have decided that maybe they don't want to just run it down anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it would suck for their team name, but
Can't
yeah,
always run it down.
you can't always run it down. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, the first map is going to be Fracture with the team of ex Donoobs starting on attack. They're starting with the more advantageous side first. Would you say that's better than starting? Maybe you want to do it second so you can get a kind of comeback going?
Yeah, I think ex-Donoobs or Donoobs are definitely confident in their teamwork and their ability to frag out, so they're just going for the aggressive
Early lead?
attacking side to just assert their dominance early in this final.
All right, yeah, we like to see that. But meanwhile, we've also got the second map. That after Fracture, we will be going straight to Haven, and this time, F5 Run It Down will be on the attack. It seems like they are also confident because Haven is also an attacking-sided map. It seems they are also confident that they'll be able to push themselves to an early lead on that map number 2.
Yep. And Haven, just like Fracture, is very teamwork heavy map. It's hard on CT to coordinate rotates just because there's 3 different bomb sites you can plant on, and it's a very wide map. And if you over rotate, then you're going to get punished hard. So they're going to have to be on their toes on defense.
Run It Down are going to have to show some very different, very interesting strats if they want to take this all the way in 2 maps. And assuming that we get a closer game than I think either team would like to anticipate, we are going to be heading to a map number 3. But first, in order to figure out this map number 3, we're going to have to be banning some more maps out of the pool. And the map that F5 Run It Down have decided to ban is Ascent. They do not want to be playing on Ascent for that map number 3, which is interesting because you'd expect a running it down team like F5 to want to play in a sense. It feels a little more attacking, like a little more run it down friendly than some of the other
Yeah,
maps in the pool.
yeah, I don't know. Ascent's interesting because Ascent is kind of like the bread and butter of just any like tactical shooter map. It's very well made and well rounded. It's probably the best like made map in all of Valorant in my opinion. So yeah, we'll see what they what Donuts or Donoobs comes in
Noobs ban
against.
Icebox, thank God. But unfortunately, that means that the last map is split, and that map is very explosive.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that. Hopefully, we'll see some Rays gameplay on that map.
Yeah, it's a very in your face kind of map, and I feel like that should definitely benefit F5 Run It Down here, since they are so strong at
Yeah,
running it down.
I am interested or surprised, I should say, that Donoobs banned Icebox because that was one of their picks in the early tourneys on one of the earlier stream matches.
I do believe that
I
was one of
believe,
their stronger
yeah,
maps.
you
So it
commentated
is
on one of
interesting that
those
they chose to
ones.
ban it from the pool. They must have had split in their pocket to pull out at an
Yeah,
event like this.
so
That's what I'd like to believe.
we'll see. So it looks like that is all the maps picked for this finale.
I would say this does look like a relatively even map pool, surprisingly. Maybe slightly favoring Donoobs here, with the first two maps being so team heavy. Donoobs, of course, being a team that have played together for over a year now. They might have more of that chemistry that F5 may happen to lack.
Right.
As we are about to head into this game any second now, and just before that occurs, we're going to need everything to be set up. Yeah, and unfortunately, it looks like the tech issues are still persisting, however. Therefore, we're going to be having to push into a break real quick. When we come back, we're going to go to the first map, Fracture, Hexdo Noobs versus F5 Run It Down. Don't go anywhere.
See you soon.
All right, we are finally back. Let's go. We are ready. We are here. It is time for some professional Valorant, baby. We are heading in. First map, reminder, it is Fracture. It is Donoobs versus F5. Donoobs are going to be starting on attack. We're getting into the map any second now. Teams are ready. We're about to head in. We are heading straight into Agent Select. Let's see how both of these teams want to approach this map. We get a cheer. Are we ready for some Valorant finally? Hell yeah. Woo! Right, Benny with the instant lock onto the neon. That's a fun pick. It's not the meta pick, but it is a good pick. That's considered very good on this map. We got the Cypher lock in instead of Killjoy. That's a little interesting. So far, I think Killjoy has been considered the primary Sentinel that you want to be playing on this map. So I think the Eric pick of Cypher is very surprising. Let's see what they're cooking. What do you think about these Agent Cups so far?
Yeah, ever since that Killjoy ult can't be break by Breach Aftershock, it's definitely good to have her on this map. Also, Neon is strong here. Donoob's going for the double duelist strat, just an absolute confident statement. We're gonna see Quack and Benny fragging out for sure.
All right. Looking at the side of F5 Run It Down, they are going for I can't do that right now. Looking at both of these teams, I think that yeah, looking at the comp of F5 Run It Down, we can definitely see that they're going for a little bit more of a traditional comp. They've got Breach and Sky on this team, which is a little unusual. I think you would normally expect a fade or something of that nature in order to be able to see through walls. Neither of these teams are running a fade or Sova, actually.
Yeah,
So
that's
no revealing
interesting.
utility. So that's a little fun. That's a little different from what you would typically see on this map.
I think we'll see a duality of aggression here because we got the double initi on F5, so they're going to be going for a bit more passive playstyle, whereas X Donoobs is going for the double duelist.
I think I'm very excited to see how Donoobs are going to be approaching this. I do think that on attack, they've got opportunity to go for some very interesting executes onto both of these sites. And you can see three of them are already taking the zipline onto the other side of the map. They are going for something that isn't necessarily your traditional push. Cypher is going to be staying on the original side of the map in order to try to anchor it down and prevent a fast flank from the side of the defense here. But it does look like they are going to be attacking into Arcade here. And there doesn't seem to be anyone who is directly watching. Oh, with Sky, it looks like he's going to be the person who makes first contact, and Mitchell is positioned in order to back them up. So we'll see how this execute goes very, very soon. We have 3 people on A, though, so if they can somehow manage to get 2 quick kills on to Spike and Mitchell, that definitely opens up the round for them to get themselves into a very convenient, very clean 5v3 retake situation that they would definitely
Look
prefer
at Benny,
here.
he's already up.
Benny's up there with a shorty, and Mitchell's gone. That's all that Cage's util deactivated. That makes it pretty much free for them to get onto the site. But not a Spike has anything to say about it. Suj goes down with pretty much no effort because he's still got the util out. Donuts gets a Spike plant down, but has to back away quickly because the Aftershock is now up.
Yeah, and look at Quack all the way. He's a bit late on the flank arcade, but he might find Spike meet up together for the retake.
Yeah, he's still quick enough to get those the trade. And it is now a 2v3 Spike looking to make a miracle happen here, although there are two people in tree that I don't think he expects. Erok in a really good position here. Spike is watching the angle, but still gets taken out, and Macha will trade, but does take a little bit of too much damage for the trouble. Because now Macha has got to fight a 1v2, and he has no idea about where the positions of these two members are. It might be a little too late. Macha with a very nice headshot onto Benny. Quack has 15 HP left. Macha will get the kill, but it is far too late now. And the first round is going to go to X-Donoobs.
Just a great entry there from Benny. So fast that you didn't even see him coming. Couldn't even react in time with that shorty.
Yeah, that late flank from Quack did seem a little bit unusual, but Quack was there early enough to get that trade, and I think that made a huge difference in how that round ended up playing out.
Yeah. Also a little unlucky for F5. They stacked towards A, and there was a early arcade aggression there, so...
It made it difficult for them to rotate in time, and that definitely did cost them. But that's just Valorant. That's a thing that happens. They are going so aggressive on this push right now with the Brim Stim. Benny pushing up with the Neon utility. He's running again. He just keeps going. And there's no one on site to contest him. They should get the site for practically nothing. No members of their team are lost. And now it's a 3v5 retake for the side of F5
run it
down.
There it is. Spike finding it. Easy pick'ems.
So Spike is lying in wait for his prey, but I don't think he's going to find any that approach him here. Mitchell with the Sheriff going for a fun little peek out on to a site from heaven, but Macha got the Marshal here. Clean headshot onto Donut. Has to walk away. Accidentally runs with a knife out into Erok, who will be happy to take that kill. And Quack cleans up the final member of F5 Run It Down. That is the second round in a row for X-Donoobs.
Yep, pretty standard here. Won the first round, they got the gun advantage. Easy win.
Absolutely, but that is 2 rounds in a row. Generally, when you lose the first round, you are typically expected to lose the second round as well. But now, F5 Run It Down have guns like Vandals and Phantoms, whereas the side of Donoobs are stuck with Spectres and Bulldogs. So typically, this is a round in which F5 are actually favored to win. So let's see if they can get that going, if they can keep that.
Yeah.
Look at the momentum that's been lost and manage to sort of gain some of it back here.
And this is a standard strat where your bonus strat is looking quite similar to your pistol round strat, and we do have the early arcade aggression here.
Cypher slowly going across the zipline. He might have heard the brimstone of F5 as across that zipline. Let's see if that changes their strategy at all. Look like it. They're still going for that B execute here. Benny and Quack quick to hightail it into that part of the map. He didn't encounter Mitchell, but Benny has the Bucky, and that Bucky hits hard.
Oh, and they bit onto the bait. They have A for free.
Yeah, but Spike has a good... Unfortunately, he gets a lot. He gets 2 kills before Suj takes him out in the counterattack, but Erok already has the Spike on A. Spike goes down. Erok is stunned, and Macha does have knives, but does he expect the crossfire? He doesn't. He doesn't hit the knives, but gets the knife kill instead. Who needs one set of knives when you had the other?
1 enemy remaining.
Shung quickly scratches Erok, and then Suj as well. That is the first round on the board for F5. Run it down. True to their name, they ran it down, and they got the kills. I think that flank from Spike was so pivotal towards them winning that round. It got so much value, got so much information. Donuts immediately caught off guard, had to pivot onto A, and I think that F5 were just ready.
Yeah, taking away 2 guns and getting that bomb plant, that's great value from a bonus round. And also, it's good information to have that being able to fake that site, F5 is just biting on those baits, so we might see a lot of those fakes coming up in these gun rounds.
Yep, and now we can see that both of these teams have guns. So the dynamic of the game has changed a little bit. Both of these teams are at a full buy. We can finally see both of these teams when they've got the guns that they desire for the most part. How's that gunplay? How are those trades going to go? Quack and Benny, I want to say, have decided to push up, are going to encounter Matcha. Very cool. Quack updrafts up into Matcha, but Matcha can just get the kill into Benny while Quack is distracted. Gets traded though, but Mitchell's already got search on the other side. Donuts gets one, Donuts has two! It's now a 3v2 in favor of the Donoobs, and Chung is stuck waiting for this plan to go down. He's fired the aftershock,
planted.
but Aerok's Cypher Cage is going to allow Donuts to escape. He decides to go back in though. I don't know if F5 sees this coming.
Doesn't look like June caught a glimpse of Donuts crossing back.
And Jun, being so systematic and clearing out all those angles, is going to run into Donuts soon enough. And does not win the gunfight. That is the third kill for Donuts. Aerok last one, Chung last one left actually, but is taken out very swiftly indeed. Third round on the board for Donoobs.
Great round from Donuts there. Great timing on this push through. Aim while who was that? Yeah, Quack pulling all the attention toward arcade side. Got a nice push through smoke. Entered onto the site. And secured the first win also.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really fault either team here. Jun did a good job at being systematic and poking at those, checking every single angle, but just did not win the gunfight where it counted most. And now they're stuck with stingers and shorties and sheriffs. And, you know, Donoobs are up 3-1. Spike is holding such a pivotal position for the ambush here. Jun does get one with that stinger, but trades instantly come in. And Chung and Spike go down as well. Spike gets no value out of that shorty presence. Watch out with the Marshall, gets a beautiful headshot onto Donuts and has to backs away immediately. So now it's a 2v3. Now this is a lot more doable, I would say. Especially with Mitchell still alive as well. Aerok gets that Spike planted down on the side there and decides to stick it out a little bit. They're going to play on site over here. I think they're confident in their guns, they're confident in their utility, and they don't really see Matcha and Mitchell doing a lot to stop them, except for that Molly that gets rid of Aerok without him really being able to do anything. Swarm Grenade is so strong in those situations where you can't really force anyone out of an angle otherwise. Matcha the last one left, just spamming some martial shots to try and maybe get a lucky hit through a wall here. It's looking like he is running out of time though. Gotta do something miraculous here. Will not pull it off. Suj takes him out. That is a 4th round for Donoobs.
Yep, the read was there from F5 on the A site, but just the gun differential was too much and could not pull it off.
Yeah, absolutely a solid anti-eco. Because, as you can see, they took out 3 of Donoob's guns, and that will hurt them economically. As you can see here at the scoreboard, 2 of their members do have above 4k creds, but the other 3, I think one of them may not be able to buy if they lose this round. I think that would be Aerok. So it is influential for sure. Let's see if F5 are able to capitalize on it. Quack runs right into a Sky Flash, has no fear, runs right through, misses the knife though, Spike takes him out. Spike gets the flash, but Benny doesn't care. Benny headshots anyway. Jin goes for the trade though, and gets it. Aerok
Limestone,
gonna have
it
to
doesn't
work
matter,
around.
they find the kills.
Donoobs are gonna have to really reevaluate this approach now that 2 of their members have been just knocked out for the count here. That dish push has fallen flat. And meanwhile, F5 run it down. Contrary to their name, they're holding. They've got 2 members on each site. They're holding their angles. They're holding their tight angles, making it so difficult for them to be able to push through. However, they are going to attempt to do it through sand right now. Chung has a solid breach done. It does get one, but maybe a little too late. They're already up in there.
Spike down A. 1 enemy remaining.
Matcha has an operator in hand. That's a hell of a lot different from a Marshall. Very, very strong round from Matcha.
That was a great cycle of util there from F5's breach player. Chung had the read that they were going up to rope and just stalled them so much for, who was that? Yeah, Matcha to come in with the assist.
Yeah, I think just really good shots. That's all I can say. I'm not a master of this game. I can just say I think Matcha hit some swell shots, and I think that helped F5 run it down and win the round. As we head into round 7.
Off your feet!
Mitchell holding a rather unusual position that backfires very quickly.
Prepare for hellfire!
Rip ult sent out. If he had retreated into there, he would have been in a bit of trouble. Mitchell gets the kill with the surge with his miraculous ridiculous considering all the utes being thrown at him. With Quack and Aerox, he doesn't get two back. Jun gets some down
Last
as well.
player standing.
But Benny and Aerox
Spike
are
down,
there
B.
to limit the ability to push here. Mocha gets killed though. He's still in this 1v2. Is unable to shoot the sliding Benny as he gets that headshot, gets the round. Valiant effort from Mocha though.
Great effort there from
I'm
Manga.
over them.
Yeah. That first no-scope from him was a thing of beauty, it really was, but unfortunately two people opposite sides of you, that's just so difficult to try and swing both. Ooh, and as we head into round 8, you can see here that again the economic situation for F5 Run It Down isn't looking very good. They do have one Vandal in the hands of Chung, but other than that, it's mainly Sheriffs. We've got a Stinger. It looks like Mancha's going to be pulling out the Jet Knives, though. That is very promising. If he can keep up the aim that he's had in these past few rounds, I think that's very promising. And Spike is just running it down, tagged by the trap wire, but Chung is there to trade what Benny thinks is going to be an easy to Spike. He has the man advantage here, too. Eric has the Vandal, and he's going to be using that Cypher Cage to deny information. Just gonna walk on right past, and Ben is none the wiser. Mancha alone on site, really 1v9 in that situation, but don't have
I know exactly
that kill. Aerox gets killed the Jet as well. And the
Spike
defender
planted.
ult goes down, possibly forcing Donuts to try and take his fight.
Last player
You managed to
standing.
do so. Mitchell, the last one left, with some clever movement to be able to shoot Donuts, but the question is really how much longer. Black updrafts, tries to go for a right click, it will not kill though. Mitchell hanging on with a sliver of health. But the second right click will absolutely do the job. 6-2 Donuts.
Yeah, pretty standard stuff here. I like the early aggression there from F5. They did get the man advantage, but just didn't have the gun power to maintain it, so they messed around.
Yeah, I am definitely really enjoying what Donuts executing them very, very well. They are winning the gunfights that they need to win. And F5 Run It Down facing down this juggernaut that is Donuts. They're floundering a little bit, but it's not to the point where I would say it's unwinnable. I would say they've been a little unlucky, and I would say that they could absolutely claw their way back into the game now.
Trick shot. Cage
Aerox with a very clean headshot on the Chung. He just knew that Breach was going to pop out right there, and he took full advantage of it. Jun can hear the noise. He can hear all those members rotating out. He throws the smokes down in an attempt to delay the inevitable, but they don't care. They've got that neon wall, and they're going to dash on the site anyway. Ooh, Jun faced with enemies from 2 different directions. Can't really do anything to stop it. Spike's going to spray. Spike's going to pray. And Spike will unfortunately not get to stay unless he can pull off something incredible here. He's got this dog thrown out there. Doesn't really get a lot out of it, though. He's got a little bit of utility left. Mitchell got a little bit of utility left too, but most of it's on the other side of the map. What can they do here? Spike gets the call into Benny. Very strong. That's a strong start. Will they anticipate Quack holding the position that he is? The Sky Flash is thrown out. They don't see anything.
Enemy remaining.
But Quack does. Quack sees a lot of things. Quack sees all. He sees 2 kills and he takes them with both hands.
Yeah, F5 just cannot afford to let Donoobs keep controlling the pace of the game like this. They need to recognize that Donoobs has just ended A pretty much the last 6 rounds in a row, and they need to switch their setup or something.
Yeah, it's just when you're in a position, it feels so demoralizing. Despite Fracture being such an offensive-sided map, attackers can approach from 2 different angles, have such an ability to pincer in the defense, even though it's normally the other way around. That's what makes it such an interesting map to watch, especially in these higher levels of play. It is an attacking-sided map, like I said. However, you know, as the defense, you want to be doing a little bit more. Regardless of what you can tell yourself, it still does feel so demoralizing to see that scoreline 7-2.
Teammate aggression.
The dog wire allowed Chuck to push on out and Mancha to push on out as well. Oh, Aerox staring down 4 members. Even though the guns aren't quite as good, when you stare down that many players at once, you have no choice but to fall. Act holding the angle. He doesn't know if it's the right angle yet, but it was the right angle. And that smoke is going to guarantee that it goes down at the very least. But that's true. People running at you, just the strength of numbers. They're all traveling in a pack. They're like hyenas pouncing on their prey. Not a lot that Donuts can do. It is now a 4v2. Keep in mind, the guns were a lot stronger for Donuts heading into this round. It's just the strength and numbers they saw. that's allowed them to gain
Last
this for
player
an advantage.
standing.
And now they actually have guns. Watch it takes out Benny. Goes back to the last one left. Gets one kill, but is traded out yet again. That is a third round on the board for F5 running down. They really were true to their name here, I would say.
Thrifty.
Yep. I think they need to keep up with that early round aggression, I should say, and keep going for those
Make sure
combo
to follow
plays like
my
that, working
packing.
as a team,
They'll lead us right to
disrupting Donoob's flow.
I like how you say it, disrupting Donoobs, because with a name like F5 run it down, aggression has got to be one of your primary traits, and I think that's something that F5 execute so darn well. They're so good at running in at the worst possible moments and disrupting, you know, all those fancy set plays you have going. I think Donoobs are at risk of starting to feel that. F5 can mark aggression up.
I'm
Looks
out
like
of here.
F5 has changed their setup from Jet aggressing A main. They have recognized that they like ending A.
Shocking. I'm
Doing
out
some
of
of
here.
the same B-fake plans, B-fake strat, I should say.
Takes out Jun as well around A main. That's very good if they
Chunk is
want to
all the way
aggress A.
through.
However, it doesn't look like they're going to be doing so in this situation. They have a lot of control on B right now,
Bomb
forcing
grenade
Mitchell,
out.
you know, pretty much entirely off the
Bomb
site.
grenade out.
There's not a lot he can do. Since takes out Spike as well. I think that they pretty much have the site on lock unless Mitchell decides to go for some heroics here. And he will, but it won't work out the way he wants it to. Benny takes out Mitchell. Now it's a 2v5 with such disadvantageous positions. Now they're the ones who are attempting to pincer at Donoobs.
Question is, do they sacrifice
Last
Mitchell?
player
Nope.
standing.
Wait,
Oh,
they get the
unfortunately,
chance to.
Benny comes out in a way that Chung does not expect, and Mocha truly in a 1v9, or in this case a 1v5. Very difficult for him to get any value out of it whatsoever, and he won't because Eric's got the shots, and his bullets fly true, straight into Mocha's.
Last round before the switch.
Yeah, just the way Donoobs is working both sides of the map, it seems like F5 is having trouble deciding which side they need to contest.
Absolutely. With Donoobs are doing a good
Here.
job at sort of pincering them
Here.
in. F5, you know, they shine their brightest when they're able to just run
Here.
free and
On
run
my
around
way.
and, you know, just kill a lot of people really, really fast. But in this
Here.
case, Donoobs are sort of smothering that aggression with their ability to just sort of
Here.
slowly close in on the bomb site and choke the life out of F5, run it down.
Prepare for hellfire!
Ooh, jump forced out early by a very interesting breach ult. As another breach ult is thrown, which actually ends up killing his own teammate. That's so unfortunate if you're Jud. Obviously, you want to make up for it with some very strong kills here. That's a very good start, taking out Such immediately. Nearly gets the kill off the Donuts as well. But he backs away just in time. I don't even know if he was aware that that kill was happening when it did.
Launching smoke.
Drew not overextending.
Absolutely, yeah. You know, atypical for F5, you know? They have that aggression, but they understand when there is too much aggression, and that's why they're so strong as a team. And Donuts, you know, handling the spike, delivering it all the way to the B site. It's like he's playing Death Stranding out here. He's just walking, he's got that bomb strapped to his back. That's a terrible analogy, but either way, Donuts is gonna get the spike down for free, I want to say.
It's like Donuts
One
got
enemy
Unless
remaining.
Jun has something to say about it.
Spike down
He does
B.
get the kill on the Donuts and the plan, but Aerok is not going to let this round go
Cage
just yet.
trigger.
He has a Cypher Cage in order to block his approach. Now the team doesn't know if he's trying to approach from
30 seconds left.
or
One
trying to
enemy
approach from
remaining.
Arcade. He is still approaching from Arcade. And the Cypher ult is going to give him so much information as to where Macha is playing. Macha has a choice to make. Where is he going to try and play this from? What angle is he going to try and watch? It's effectively a 50-50. He has no idea what Eric is trying to do. He throws the smoke in the correct direction and decides to go to the other side of the map, and unfortunately that was not the correct choice. Eric calmly walks through the smoke, takes out Macha, and wins the round. That is a 9-3-1 in favor of X-Donuts.
great work from Eric there. Not scared that there's so little time in the map, taking his time and finding the pick.
Yeah, they're doing an excellent job with these timings, with this ability to sort of catch F5 off guard. It not really allowing them to play that game plan that they're trying to go for here.
Yeah, interesting to see how
This goes here.
F5 can bring back the momentum on this side on attack.
Oh, this
Continuing
that
with the run
goes
it down
there.
mentality.
Yeah, considering that mentality, this side should be a breeze for them, you know? Maybe even enough of a breeze to, you know, enjoy a 9-3 blessing, as it were. You know, we're going to be more positive about this. It's a 9-3 blessing, right? It's a blessing for
Yeah.
the losing team. I feel like if you are down 3-9, you've got a good chance, you know? You've got to be feeling okay about yourself. I'm not going to act like as good as, you know, being 9-3 up. But you've got a chance. You absolutely got a very good chance, especially if you're a team as talented as F5 run it down. And
Big
showing
flank
that
coming in
running on
Scoops.
the side Spike, dying with the Spike. not ideal.
Spike
But some
planted.
trades going back and forth very, very quickly. Still in favor of No Noobs. Chum gonna peek out into 3 members, just a complete firing squad. And now it's a 4v2. 3 members are attempting to flank them right now. Matcha pulls them back. It's now a 2v3. Absolutely very, very doable. Can they get 21? Mitchell gets 1, Mitchell gets 2, Mitchell gets 3 in a row! Those shots all land. His aim so crisp. Incredible shots from him. And now F5 run it down and won the pistol round. They're one step closer to, you know, greatness, I would say.
Holy Toledo. Donubs executed that perfectly. They had the great flank there with their numbers up and just got out-aimed.
Yeah, Mitchell hitting some unreal shots there. I don't think there's any world where you anticipate Mitchell just aiming as well as he does there. 3 people come in from A main, all targeting his life, and Mitchell responds with just, you know, ending them all. Quack holding with the shorty. Now, where have I seen this before? Matcha gonna run into a little Jet v Jet right here. Unfortunately, Quack misses the shots,
Great
and
flash.
Matcha is able to get, you know, some clean
Spike
spectre kills on the
planted.
Betty and Quack that Heaven hold being immediately shut down. Jin pushing up a little more. He's got the frenzy. He's got the
Launching
smoke to put
smoke.
in here just to deny that, you know, retake. A little bit longer immediately breaks the Cypher cam as well. Donut jiggle peeking around main just so that he is able to get a little more information. He just wants to scare them a little bit. Now he can back away in peace, and they've got to dedicate someone to watching out for him. Matcha gets a 3rd kill as well with the trade onto Jun. However,
Last player standing.
it doesn't even matter.
Pretty Sanders,
He kills
second win
Twitch,
here from F5.
Spike kills Donuts, round over.
This is a very significant round, though. If they are able to win this bonus round, that is a lot of momentum in their favor.
Absolutely. I feel like, especially, I think that was just so shocking. I can't believe what I am seeing here. I'm kidding. I can absolutely believe it. F5 is a team that, you know, you can't not believe. You have to believe. They're just that kind of a team. You know, they make you believe, right? Absolutely. I think, you know, with the 5-9, you're feeling strong, you're feeling good about yourself. You're really feeling like maybe you can bring this back.
Looks like
And
they
they're going
made
for
2
some
upgrades
aggressive
to rifles
pushes
also.
onto Dish, you know, just a trade out on there, and it gives F5 the ability to push up into Dish and up onto site. But Mitchell's immediately smoked off, so they have to reconsider this approach a little bit. However, it turns out that the way they've decided to reconsider this is just to brute force it. They sent all their members over to the other side of the map just so that they could brute force their way through Dish, it looks like. And maybe they're reconsidering yet again. Maybe they've decided that, you know, Dodos must have heard that rope. So, you know, they might be being held a little too harshly. The 3 members of the team F5 have decided to just slowly sneak their way down to B site.
Yeah,
Cypher's on there, though, and he's not going to be happy.
this is where Mitchell shines. He's great at picking apart the enemy team on his lurks.
If any one of the members of Donubs over-aggresses here, they may be met with a rude surprise, say. Meanwhile, oh my god, F5, they walked under B main so casually.
30 seconds
what are
left.
they cooking? They've just been walking around in a circle around the map this whole round, it seems like. They've gone in a complete circle now. They're back to where they started. And Donubs are still watching that angle. They never rotated away. Benny is going to
Watch out!
peek into a few members right now. Gets to go to Jin almost immediately. Gets stuck another chunk, but Spike is able
Spike
to,
down
you know,
A.
stop the
One
blow a little
enemy
bit.
remaining.
Mitchell's
10 seconds left.
hold has finally paid some form of dividend. But Suj is waiting for that push up. He has control of the spike, and Mitchell knows it. As soon as he tries to run in and try and get that kill, Suj swings, takes him out. 5-10. Donuts and team have finally regained some form of momentum here.
Yeah, the idea was there. It's just unfortunate Mitchell couldn't find anyone. Donubs really weren't giving anything up on A, no information, so Mitchell probably assumed that they were just all towards B side.
As we're going into round 16,
Keep up.
we can see that run it down. They're feeling themselves a little more, I'd like to say. I mean, after all, that 3rd round, it was a bonus. They absolutely did have worse guns than Donuts did. This is the first round where both teams will actually have a sizable amount of guns. And this is really going to maybe set the pace for the rest of the second half here. Donuts does so with an immediate kill onto Matcha. Chung will respond in kind to the kill onto Eric, getting rid of all that Cypher utility that could have been so helpful on the retake. Big for retake most likely, unless Jun has something to say about it. Takes out Such immediately. And Spike picks up Benny as well, chucks the quack, but Donut is able to trade him back. Spike as well pots him, catches him reloading, but Mitchell will not have it. He will take out Donuts. That is a 6th round on the board for F5, and now this comeback is looking so much more doable.
Yeah, I'm a little unsure why Benny had to judge there. Made it very hard for a retake on B, but good for F5. Not scared that they're down rounds, just finding that hard aggression on the side.
And now, as you can see, as a result of winning that 4th round, you can see that noobs don't really have guns. I think they're pretty much only working with pistols right now. That makes this round just that much more difficult to win unless they can pull off a few cheeky shorty kills, perhaps.
Looks like we're going for a fast sand aggression. Donuts is looking for a quick rotate above
Here.
road. Will they be able to find the timing?
Oh, Matcha runs out of bullets at just the wrong moment, but fortunately Spike is here to clean up the mess. And now Matcha has a very strong position here, spraying into the smoke
One
where Benny
enemy
lies,
remaining.
and actually does find that kill, headshotting Benny through the smoke.
And they send out Erock on the
With
flank.
that Spike down as well. Erock is on flank, and they are aware, thanks to all the killjoy utility they have, to specifically watch that angle. Erock is chilling here with the shorty. He has nothing to do except, you know, just hold that angle and hope that someone walks into his crosshair.
Yeah.
I think, however, F5 are going to be perfectly content to hold this. Obviously, as the spike is about to be detonated, they are going to have to try to escape somehow. Jin attempting to escape through Dish, but accidentally misses the jump, unfortunately. And just going to back away the normal way, right? And normal is fine, especially in this case where Arok isn't even waiting in that direction in the slightest.
Yep, it's good seeing them exit all the same side together. Very disciplined.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Erock is gonna have
Arok,
to die to bomb here.
yeah, he's not going to get any value out of holding that shorty, so he's just going to have to die to Bob for some money. And in fact does so. That was a flawless round. All 5 members of F5 run it down. A hold through that round, that's going to be so influential as Donoobs are finally able to buy rifles again. It is 7-10, and I feel like if you're F5, these are really, really good chances. You're feeling really good. And just as I say that, Donoobs are taking a timeout. I mean, I'm sure they can tell. Obviously, they're the pro Valorant players. They can tell this is such a pivotal round for them. If F5 are able to win this round, Donoobs are broke again, and that brings them 2 rounds in a row most likely, which will bring it to 9-10. And that's almost an even game.
Yeah, I'm not surprised to see Donoobs call a timeout here. They're starting to slip on their momentum, and also just so many ults up this round. This is a very vital round to win for both teams.
Absolutely. Especially since, you know, most likely a lot of ults are going to be thrown into this round. You know, if you use up all that utility and you don't even win the round, then it feels, what was it all for? Well, as we watch this dancing cat, is it a cat or is it a dog? What's your take?
I have no clue.
I'm gonna run with cat. I think we have enough dogs in Valorant already. This is a cat. This is a cat. All right. In my heart, it's a cat. As we watch the dancing cat fade away into nothing. Oh, the dancing cat's back! It's back! The dancing cat finally reappears on our screens, on our vision. We
This is
see
my spot.
Arok
Need a
finally
drop.
setting up, and the round resumes motion.
It'll be interesting to see
Here.
how Donoobs choose to use their ults here. Most of them are for retake, so they might just give up. Looks like they're leaning toward aggression A, so it looks like a B retake setup.
Decide to invest ults into just clearing that utility or just clearing out Arok from sight.
Yeah, F5 looks like they're trying to secure under.
You should run.
Going for the
And
Saner
Matcha, I
Killjoy
think-
ult.
I don't know if he spotted something. Ooh, and that Brim ult goes out almost immediately to deny the Killjoy lockdown. And now you've got to run away because
Watch out!
all your, you know, your main instrument of applying pressure onto Donoob is gone. If you try your luck elsewhere, and they decide to do so on A site.
Yeah, it looks like F5 recognized that breach is towards A, so they don't want to run into that ult. They're just
But
gonna go
immediately,
for
just
the
like
breach.
say that, and that kills Matcha, but Chung immediately takes it back. Arok alone on site, gets the kill on the Chung. He has Spike down.
B.
He's blinded though. It won't find any more value than that Spike, and Yuta Mitchell made it an advantage game for F5.
Gotta go.
And he
Let's
okay,
go!
bullets was a lot closer than I think he realizes.
Here we go.
Pulls up the ult immediately
Last player
afterwards.
standing.
Puts Spike in a corner. Judd does immediately kill Benny afterwards. That is
30
a neon
seconds
ultimate
left.
wasted as well. This is now a 2-1 such an extreme disadvantage here. Just to pull this out. Mitchell plants
Spike
Spike down.
planted.
swabs out the Killjoy turret for good measure, just to chip and a little extra damage there, just get a little more piece of utility. That could be so vital here. Both holding this one angle because they know the turret is going to alert them if he tries to go the other way.
Yep, good discipline setup here.
Turrets destroyed.
Set up, they don't invest any information there. Then takes out Such, and that is an 8th round on the board. Again, as we said, such a crucial round for F5 to win.
Yep, we got the game on our hands. That's 5 huge ults down, and now Donoobs are going to be forced into a save, so highly likely we're going to be seeing 9-10 next round.
Of course, unless they have something to say about it, of course.
Calling my
I mean,
bot.
we are going to see, most likely we are going to see back with the Jet Knives pulled out, and those always can turn around on its head.
Yeah, Quack on Jet, he can always work some magic.
And as we go for this, simple arcade setup, yeah, just 5-man running it down arcade.
Looks like they're
Well, let's see
gonna
if any value can be found here. Unfortunately, he's blind, and nothing can be done, even though Donut,
Spike down B.
this whole defense on his back, and just to get 2 kills there.
Is Mitchell aware of the flank, though?
Doesn't seem like they're aware of this 2-member flank here. They are going to get the spike down. I don't think they're
Gotta
too
go.
worried. Any pressure coming against defense, but Benny is going to make some noise. They are going to be a little more
Spike
suspicious
planted.
now about, any noise coming in from their flank. It looks like they've just chosen to play it
This
from
way.
B main. They're going to play it so safe here.
Yeah, it would have been interesting to see some contesting of arcade because now Donoobs was able to acquire 2 rifles for free, so this 3v2 is not so free anymore. It's pretty close.
As one-sided as I think F5 would like. But a lot of time is being spent here, and as soon as Benny taps that spike, all of them are going to know. So what Benny decides to do is, it's probably time to run for kills. He goes for 1, he gets
Last
1,
player
but
standing.
Spike kills the man on defuse, and suddenly it's all over.
Good
That is a
post.
9th round on the board. A little more costly than they would have liked, but that is, in fact, still a 9th round on the board.
And with this ult rotation advantage, we got Skyle and Breach ult up for F5, so they might be able to just keep this momentum going and pick up another round here if they use these ults correctly.
Absolutely, that Breach
Bot
ult
coming
on
back.
attack
Out
is
of
so
charges.
strong for just taking space. And they may be able to do so right now with what looks like aggression towards A.
Don't
It looks like more of a split push, actually. Killer's going to try to get some information on Arcade. Breach going to poke out B main. And the rest of the team going to take it slow, I hope. But that may change as they immediately are going to run
Take this.
into 2 members of Donoobs.
Yeah, Mitchell just looking for any sort of sound on the team. Looks like they're not giving much up though. Both teams playing pretty disciplined here, trading.
Yeah, they are content to play a little more disciplined and allow Mitchell to just sort of poke around for some information on Arcade. He may run into Aeroc very soon. We'll see how that goes. Not. Back your way. Again, playing it still relatively safe, but now the pressure's on. He's throwing all this utility to prevent himself from being that pressured. He's used all his utility to just delay this push long enough for his team to get here, and now it's 5 people on the site. Now that Killjoy has been tamed, has been taken out on the site, they know that they can focus all their pressure on stopping this push. He gets a couple of chunk, he gets traded. Toucha is able to get on the site, but no, Donut spams him through the wall.
One enemy
Jun gets
remaining.
1,
Oh.
Jun gets 2, Spike gets 1 as
Player
well.
standing.
But straight to
Spike
Jun
down
finally.
A.
Spike is the last one left to say 1v1. Such is on 7 HP. He's gonna need a barrel. Makes noise around door. And Spike is probably gonna get the plant down. I don't think he knows which way Such is going to come from, but I think he has a pretty good guess. Ooh, just as I say that, he starts watching the other way. He's looking back and forth here. He's not really confident as to which way this is going to be going. Oh, he's going to spot Sidge's shoulder. He's going to spot Sidge's shoulder here, and now each person knows who the other person is. Sidge gets the stun, and that's going to be so huge for him. The fact that he had that back online allows him to get that kill on the Spike and secure the 11th round for Donuts here. On 7 HP, by the way. Any shot, any stray bullet could have potentially punctured through him and ended that round.
Yeah, just a fatal decision there, swinging out while stunned. Potentially could have just re-swung right side and gotten the kill before the concussion went off, but it's close. Dude, that was a great stun from Sam there, bringing the team back. 9-11.
Very close game indeed. Yeah, and obviously, when you're this close, when there are these few rounds left in play, every single round is going to matter so much more than any that came before it. Donuts only need 2 rounds to win. F5 only need 4. It is absolutely anyone's game, and I think the pressure is well and truly on.
Yeah. Looks like F5 is just maintaining another default. I think they have to use Breach Ult here, though. They don't want to get this round to 9-12.
Absolutely. That breach ult is going to be so critical towards taking space here, and I think if they're just able to push up enough to be able to use it, that's going to really, really help their chances. Cha throws down in smoke, but he doesn't feel confident enough to dash into it. Does so now. Donuts does get some spam, but not enough to kill. A little more as he backs away, reducing Matcha to so little HP. Not quite enough to get the deed done. Mitchell gets a spike planted on the site. He's going to hold from under the site.
And they honestly might be able to save ults for next round if they're able to play this 5v3 or post plant correctly.
Yep, they have the Brim ult as well to be able to nice bank time a little longer, but Arok is already flanking here. This fight is going to be so crucial, and Arok is in fact not going to win it. They do have enough util to potentially just delay the spike plant entirely. This is so difficult for them to win, and it does look like they have made the correct decision in choosing to save here and, you know, save the guns, and yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a standard save here. I think Donoobs is focusing a little bit too much energy towards the main sides and letting Mitchell just roam way too free on arcade and dish side. He's just getting dish and arcade
I hate
free
to say
with
it,
no
but
contest, and
probably
he was able
best to
find
play
it.
as a team.
Pick that, honestly,
So,
gave him sight that
what's
round.
the plan?
Just the fact that Donoops gave up sight that easily and didn't even force Chung to use that ult. That's very big for F5 because now they have the ability to use it again and potentially bring the score
Here.
to an 11-11, especially since Donoops can't really afford a solid buy.
Yeah.
That goes
The question
there.
is, do they risk taking the fights against bad guns, or do they just secure the round with a breach ult? We have seen them hold this breach ult for a lot of rounds here. But it looks like they're just
it
gonna
looks
go
like
for
they
it.
are ready to just run it. Got that ult popped up, sending it. He's clearing out the entirety of B side here. Arok is stunned, but do they know it? Matcha has made his way on the site. Arok may just decide to spam here. Oh, unfortunately, his
My
cage
ult's
goes
ready.
down at the moment that I don't think he expected. Matcha gets Arok down. Jim gets Benny as well for good measure. And now we're in a 5v3 retake. Quack kills Spike, but is on such low HP. Even
Spike
a gust
planted.
of wind to take him out by now. Gets a little spam onto Matcha, which could prove fatal. Ooh, Chung getting
One enemy
bullets thrown
remaining.
at him from all directions. It's now a 3 versus 1 though. Can Donuts pull off the impossible? No, he cannot. Jun takes him out. It is now 11-11. We are all tied up.
Yeah, I think that's a good choice, just using that breach ult. Better to get the equalization instead of just risking it.
All right, it's 11-11. From now onwards, 2 rounds win you the game. Can you get 2 rounds in a row? This is a question
This goes here.
that is going to be asked of Donuts, that is
This
going to
is
be
a nice
asked
spot.
of F5 run it down,
This goes
especially since this game's been so back and forth.
Here.
It really did feel like, especially with that 9-3 scoreline, it really did feel like F5 were a little bit out of it at the start of this map, but they've started to really find that momentum, find their form, and Donuts haven't really had an answer as of yet. Will they be able to find that answer now when it matters most?
Yeah, and I think this is good from Donoobs here. They finally recognized that Mitchell just solo lurks on this side, and they're going to aggress him and try to pick him off before he is able to regroup with his team here.
Yeah, they really don't want him to do any more damage, which is a wise decision, but Mitchell is just simply going to zipline away without any real
Oh.
effect. Benny gets 1, Benny gets 2. Jun is aware though, Jun will trade that back, so it is still only a 3v4. It could be a lot worse. But Jun backs away. I think he's aware of the pressure on Dish and thus chooses to back away. Now there are 3 people watching with Arok on the flank as well. Will they have to completely reassess their game plan here?
Yeah.
He's considered throwing out the ults just to clear them. Is it worth it?
They are aware that Breach has ult. Don't want to force just a straight onto site push, or else they'll just run into a trap. But it looks like they're going to walk out here without any contact. Going to go all the way
Just
through
going to
spawn.
30
attempt to
seconds
take
left.
as much space as they can manage to.
Quack misses him. He doesn't see him on the timing.
Oh, and Quack gets the kill onto Mitchell, but Spike and Jun in return get that timing off to Donuts as well. It's just mind games back and forth.
here.
It's a 2v3. Oh, they
Smoke's
run
down.
back onto A side, but Quack has heard them. Quack is ready to do
Last
real
player
damage here. There's a
standing.
gap in the smoke,
10
and he uses it to
seconds
clear
left.
Jun, but Spike
Spike
is able to get
down
that trade.
A.
The breach ult denies the plant. It might actually just be too late here. He is unable to get that spike down in time because the breach ult
One
actually goes
enemy
up in the
remaining.
air, canceling that spike plant. And as a result, there isn't enough time for him to clear out
Match
that round.
point.
Yeah, that was a great idea there. There just wasn't enough time in the round for them to go to A or go to B, so they had to reinforce the A hit.
Just such awareness there from Donuts, realizing he had the breach ult on board and realizing how little time was left on the timer to be able to secure
Here.
that. I think, like, obviously you see the ult and like while watching it on a screen you think, oh, just use the ult, but you know, in the game it's a lot of
Need a
emotions
drop.
running through your head, and just that ability to stay calm under pressure, I think, is why Donuts is so valued as a member of the squad.
Get out of my way!
It looks like Mitchell is starting B main side, so they might go for a double.
I've
or
got your
pick up
trail.
here. Or just go for a standard B take.
And they're content with playing it a little more slow. They're ready to explode on the side so the spike can find some value with that snipe. Hopefully. Taken out by the knives, but Jun has killed Donuts anyway with that ult. It is still a 4v4. Benny gets one. Benny gets two. Can Benny get a third? No.
Spike
Mitchell is
down
ready
B.
to trade. Very, very good shots here from Benny, but is it going to be
Camera
enough?
taken out.
Everyone's breath is just being held right now.
Last player
It feels
standing.
so tense. It's now a 1v3. Can Matcha pull off the impossible? Matcha does have knives out. Matcha does have a gun. Any weapon of choice can be used here to try and assure this
I must wait a
seemingly
moment.
impossible 1v3 clutch. He has no idea where any of the players are. He's
Yeah.
got to slowly, systematically clear everything out, but there's double swing available here. Kills Quack, but Cinch is able to trade that from behind.
Defenders
that is a
win.
13-11 in favor of Donuts. They take map 1. Congratulations to Donuts for taking map 1. Can they keep this momentum going?
Yeah, good to see a close game there. F5 able to bring it back to a close game instead of just losing momentum there. So definitely we'll see a match on our hand for map 2.
Absolutely. With as close as that scoreline was, we can see that these are two very, very talented teams with a lot of ability to just go there, shoot heads, really. That's what I can say. And even if you look at the scoreboard, you can see that Jun and Spike were actually the top 2 fraggers, which just really goes to show, you know, frags aren't everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though they went out there with such stellar performances, 21 kills each, they still can't really close that out. You know, just because Donuts' team, Donoobs, they're able to just play together so well.
Yeah, I think F5 was just having a little trouble finding their footing against Donoob's playstyle in the beginning, but towards the end they started to figure it out. So I think coming into map 2 they'll have a better idea of how they should attack.
Yeah, they absolutely had that adjustment. They were starting to have that adjustment. It was just a little too late. But now that they have that idea in their heads of how Donoobs like to approach these maps, it really is going to change the momentum going forward. And now that we've said that, we are going to be heading to map 2, which is going to be Haven in a very short while. So as we wait for that to take place, we are going to cut to a very quick break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And we are back! Alright, after that exciting map 1 where Donoobs took the first map fracture, 13-11 over F5 run it down, we are here with map number 2, which is Haven. I am really excited for this one. How are you feeling as we head into map 2?
I'm thrilled. No, but in all seriousness, it will be exciting to see because F5 on Haven was the map I played against them with my team. So
okay.
It'll be interesting to see if they play similarly or different against Donoobs.
Okay, so we've got a different idea of how their strats are going to operate. How was their team when they played against you?
Yeah, it's basically the same playstyle as they had on Fracture, with Mitchell as that kind of anchor lurk and just working the map.
Okay. Yeah. I will keep in mind though that this is actually F5's map pick. They feel pretty confident. They beat you guys on this map, and now they feel really confident about this map. Enough confidence is being felt by them such that they made this their map pick.
Yep.
So they think they've got something cooking here. Let's see if it's enough to take us to map 3, which is going to be split.
But on the other side, Donoobs also, I believe, has had Haven in their map pool for their team for a while, if not always. So they do have a lot of experience on this map and have a developed strat book. So
And they're content to let this one
it'll
through.
be a tight match.
This map is just so exciting because there's so many different kinds of comps that you can pull here. You can so many different agents are viable here that aren't viable on a lot of other maps. But in this case, you can see that they still have opted for very similar comps, almost identical comps. The only difference being that Quack is going on Breach, whereas Spike is sticking to that reliable Sky. We saw Spike get a lot of value of that Sky in the first map, so let's see if he can continue to do so here on Haven.
Yeah. And Quack off duelist on Breach is not something to turn your nose at. This guy definitely has great util usage and is going to be still playing aggressive as ever, even though he's off duelist.
Absolutely. And
On Donoobs, it's Benny. Benny on Jet.
as Quack is on Breach. Quack, obviously, yeah, has very strong utility. I would definitely agree with you there. I think he showcased it as well last year. Woo! Yeah, we got some big fans of Donuts in the crowd
Here we
tonight
go.
for sure. I think as we head into map 1, you can see that most of the pressure is being applied towards C. Quack is the only one left. Let's see if that util usage of his can pay off. We'll have to leave the side almost immediately. That fault line does delay them. Actually, the fault line, in fact, delays them enough such that they've changed their targets entirely and started heading towards the B side. Mitchell's going to be the one who makes first contact here.
Mitchell walking all the way up.
Oh, misses the sham stock, unfortunately. Doesn't quite land any of them. Now a blind comes out as well. Benny kills Malia.
Silence.
But Chung gets 2 in return, completely stuffing that attempted flank. And Jun gets the kill on the Quack as well. F5 are up 3-2 on this pistol round here. Donuts, you know, just hanging around B site, sticking close to all that utility he has going for him, which allows the smoke player to go for this very interesting flank we've got here. They're throwing out all that utility, but it's not even necessary because no one's even on the site. They've thoroughly bamboozled Donoobs here. And now
Spike
Donuts
planted.
ready to make a little extra noise on this retake here. Oh,
Good.
ooh, with the right click,
One
getting the
enemy
headshot with
remaining.
that. And Arok gets the kill on the Chung as well. Suddenly from 2v3, it's now a 2v1, and Jun is the last one alive. How much value can he get here? Misses the shot to Arok, and is not going to be given a chance to pick up for that.
E-Rock with the armor was just too much there.
Yeah. That was a perfect retake. It was a 2v3 retake, and neither of these two players died. That's so impressive.
Yeah, and it just kind of goes to show the different level of experience here. F5 was able to find those early picks just based off of aim, but their post-plant there was a little sloppy. Just all 3 of them playing separated, which allowed Donoobs to pick off 2 and then bring it to a 2v1.
Unfortunately, we are having a bit of a technical issue. F5 run it down, called it timeout instead to just try and resolve this issue. So we are going to have to wait a little bit longer to figure it out. But I assume that, you know, at least Donoobs can definitely use this time to talk amongst themselves, figure out what their plan is going forward.
We'll cut F5 some slack. We could blame it on the no sound. That's why they lost the pistol round.
Yeah, obviously very, very close overall. And I feel like they're going to feel not too bad about, obviously, even though that they lost that 2v3 scenario, the fact is that they were able to take those early picks and make it a 2v3 scenario to begin with. So you're not feeling bad about your ability to sort of read what Donoobs are going for, especially after you just so thoroughly confuse them and make them rotate to the wrong side and get that plant down. I think as this timeout is ending, the question is if the... Oh, okay, it looks like it has, in fact, not been resolved. We're going to the negatives, baby!
Never seen this before. Negative timeout.
We are now going into the negative timeout zone. I bet you've never seen a match quite like this. It looks like we're actually stuck in timeout hell. Oh, they fixed it
And we're
finally.
live.
That's so interesting, though. I've never seen that.
Alarm bot out. Placing swarm grenade.
All right, so as we head into this round, it looks like it's going for a little different setup. They have people on different sides here. I think Quack is probably going for that stun onto A main as soon as the round begins, and I think he did pop it actually. But now that gives F5 free agency to just go ham on attempting to take into Garage to see. Donuts pops that grenade, but doesn't find a damage or killer or anything. Spike is pushing up so aggressively, with that shorty. Remains to be seen if he'll find any value. Donuts has a Spectre in hand. That's so dangerous, especially when you're Donuts. Arok has a blind that's going to get so much value if he just throws it out right now. He sees one, but doesn't actually go for the fight here. He has a Bola as well. So Freeze going back and forth. Monty gets one.
One enemy remaining.
And again, Spike gets one kill with that shorty, but back trades it just as quickly.
Cover going out.
As expected, Donuts are able to win the go round.
Yep, 2 kills in the spike plant. That's exactly what we saw last time. So this is almost a exact replica of what happened last game. One thing I did notice is June might need to watch a Flex Ninja video or something, because that's 2 rounds in a row he's missed the garage smoke. It's just been completely off, so hopefully he can find out how to get that thing angled up right next time.
I'm not sure. Hopefully he's realized at this point that isn't really quite working the way he wants it to, and maybe he'll make some adjustments here. But we can see that they are, again, looking towards that C site. They have the spike down near grass. And yeah, it looks like it is mainly an attempt at going for C, where Mitchell is going to be holding spawn and watching for flanks. Might aggress a little bit onto grass, actually, as the rest of his team pushes up onto C site. Looks like Arok isn't having any of that. He's TPing right out of there. Going to throw out some smokes to try and delay the team, but they don't care. They're just pushing on anyway. We're getting onto the site here. Not a lot they can do to stop it. Spike gets one, watching it one. Arok
Great
back
trades.
is taken out as well. You know, just some good gunplay, some good trades coming out here from F5. As
One enemy remaining.
Forced to push into an unfavorable position. Mitchell is able to catch Suj as he lurks up into garage.
Looking like a save from Donuts.
One enemy remaining. And oh, Benny has actually brought the operator, so he will be saving this round. That's a lot of money to expend into a round where you don't even get to fire a single shot off.
Yeah, me personally, I go for these 1v4s, but that's just Benny's choice.
Yeah, he spent a lot of money on it, and of course, if he gets like double swung or triple swung, that's very, very detrimental to their economy.
Yeah, it's interesting that Donoobs had 2 people on site, but decided to give it up instead of fighting for it. I think they could have had a better chance of just staying on site with those site smokes and just...
Yeah, it's so interesting how they backed off and then decided to push through a smoke before the spike had quite gone down. I don't know what the game plan was there exactly. I think it was maybe to catch them off guard with the timing.
Yeah.
But it didn't quite work out because that generally isn't considered the most optimal play there.
Yep.
And Benny is just going to updraft on top of the C boxes with that operator. Is going to attempt to do some real damage here and may actually get that chance because they are in fact going for that C hit yet again.
Yeah, looks
But
like
in this time are going to be met with 2 people who are going to attempt to stop them.
Yeah, F5 going for the if it ain't broke, don't fix it strat. But they're going to be running into an off, so they're going to have to play this smart. They do drone him out.
Misses the shot, the drone. And Chung does get stunned, but nothing is really going to come out of it. They're simply going to back away. Now that they know that Benny is playing C-side as an operator, they know that the rest of the team does not have the same level of guns. So they can just simply choose to aggress elsewhere.
Yeah, with Donuts with the split util and garage in front B, they gotta destroy it early round so that they're able to take some control, and that's exactly what Manya does here. So now it's gonna force Donuts to bring another player towards B. Good reaction from E-Rock, stopping the aggression from the blind. Looks like they have given up A, so if F5 is able to realize this and work a lurk up, they might be able to get a free A play.
Now, it's a fighting garage. Mocha is able to trade that back immediately, so Benny is going to be able to press on site with an operator. Gets the shot on the spike through the box. Benny is so dangerous in this position. He's been attacked by the recon bolts, so he has to back away and play for the retake.
Spike planted.
Oh, cool scopes. A quick scope onto Mocha as well. Half shots here. He's got 1 bullet left in the chamber. Does he know?
Dash up draft.
Here.
Last player standing.
Oh, and Shug is unable to see Arok, and Benny will get the kill in the mid. Oh, excellent shots from Benny. Able to close out that round.
That's the Benny off I like to see.
Thanks.
One reason he saved that. He's so strong with his gun, especially when he is
My ult's ready.
duelist.
Oh, was that important?
Yeah, F5 needs to realize that they are basically just telegraphing exactly what they're doing. They had no noise anywhere else besides where they were going, so Donuts were able to realize that and just leave all their players towards the side they're going.
For a team called Run It Down, they are being pretty telegraphed with that. they're not making as much noise as you would expect them to make, especially on other parts of the map. And now that that's been said, going C yet again.
F5 is just allergic to the A-bomb site, it looks like. Even though Killjoy
Get
is
out of
going
my way.
towards here, it seems like a
They
gross
simply
setup to
do
walk
not
into.
care. They're going this way for a 5th round in a row. The knives have been popped as well on the side of Don't Noobs and the side of F5. So this is promising in terms of... It'll be paused again. And as we see this, Benny is the first one to get any value out of these knives with the kill onto Mitchell.
Enemy tagged.
More than happy to oblige. Gets a kill onto Donuts as well. That's all that Killjoy utility completely out of the picture. Aerok is forced to teleport away.
Narrowly escapes.
Narrowly escapes his life, actually. You could see the knives just whiz past him as he teleports into safety. The flank
Spike
goes
planted.
down.
Donube's
Before
happy to play
retake
post-plant
already.
C again.
Then he throws more knives out, and I think he's actually out of knives. So it's going to be a retake where only one of these two jets will still have the knives going in.
Last
Spike
player
uses
standing.
that perfectly timed flash to be able to clear up Quack and Aerok, and Jun takes on Such as well, so now he's ready. And he has an excellent shorty kill on the Spike, but that's not quite enough.
You love to see that.
You'll have to see it, but I don't know if Donut would quite like to see this. It's 3-2 now. F5 pulling it so close.
Yeah, I don't know. There were some
questionable
things that Rambo still worked out for F5. I'm not sure why Donut giving up C so easily when there's no other contact or anything anywhere else on the map. And yeah, I think they need to just show him so much respect and fight for C a bit stronger.
Here.
He gets to the corner right away. No one's really there to greet him though, so he's gonna be, pretty happy with being able to just walk up to the site. He isn't aware that Killjoy is actually stationed here this time, so I don't know if he'll be able to expect the utility that is bound to approach him. He sees the swarm grenade go off and back away. Meanwhile, on the rest of the site,
Sova all the way up on C, and Omen was able to hear the turn A. Killjoy turned on A, so they know that it's a free side over there. They just need to hurry and rotate.
yeah, I would like to call attention to Chunk. He's on the flank of his life right now. He's on a world tour, seeing all the sites that there are to see, and as well as the back of Sudge right here. Oh, he's flanked. He's Sudge as well. He's able to get both those kills. He gets a kill on the Benny as well. This flank has been so
One
huge to the side
enemy
of Reddit.
remaining.
Jun gets killed with Donuts as well, but Aerok is going out of the fight. He gets one, he gets two as well. Now it's a 1v2. This is so doable if you're Aerok. Teleports up onto the top site, and Spike shuts it down. Impressive stuff from both teams, but that fight from Chung was just so strong. They were unable to recover from it.
Yeah, that's what we need to see from F5. They aren't just that round. Their default was spread across the entirety of the map instead of just like half of it, and that's why they were able to get all the way up and get that great space and get those picks from Chung.
So the scores are tied up. Will they finally attempt to go away? No, they will not.
No.
Absolutely not. Never.
Never.
Let's throw the spike on C. It looks like they may try to fake A though.
Going out.
That is progress. They're learning slowly. It's like a child. Spinach. And eventually, mom tries to time.
Deploying drone.
Try to get them to start eating spinach. It's like that, but instead of spinach, the analogy is the A-bomb site. They just don't want to go there. They don't want anything to do with it, it seems. They're content to just hold it. They're not even aggressive down A-long at all.
Yeah, they're just showing Benny all the respect in the world with that.
And they're just content to just hold a little bit here, try and wait for Donube's to over-aggress just a little too much. Every tip of the Benny, being completely blinded, is forced to just throw in a random op shot and dash away in the hopes of trying to get something here. But he will notice that no one's actually pushed onto him. It looks like, after all that conjecture, it's still 5v5. Almost a minute into
I've
the
got
round.
your trail.
And they're just gonna hit me. All that still is there for them. Black completely blind, actually manages to take out Spike with a shot to kill. Throws out that breach until as well, just completely deny that attempt to go into sight here.
That'll be enough to stop the push. June actually getting
30 seconds left.
That's very big, but now the entire force. Don't X Donut's army has centered around the B site. And Jin got a TP on the C side, very comfortable there because they just could rotate that quick, being centered around B.
Would they guess if they're ending C when they're
Would they
already
be able to guess
three?
the chunk is here? Yes, they can. And now the spike is
Spike
down with only
down,
11
C.
seconds to go.
10 seconds left.
Went over.
Hero blinding his own teammates.
Immediately. Jin the last one left.
Oh, did they get it in time?
Oh, did Mocha actually
Spike
get the
planted.
spike down? That kill from Jun onto Donuts was still pivotal because it caused the two members of Donut's left to back away.
Down to the milliseconds.
Benny does have an operator, not necessarily the greatest weapon for retakes here, but Benny with this op, sometimes he just hits a little differently, you know?
Watch them
See how well this goes. Eric is 21 HP, he's choosing the TP for information there. Are they letting
One
it go through?
enemy remaining.
Oh, that was risky. They decided that he was definitely going to cancel it.
Last
so it's
player
gonna happen.
standing.
But Jin gets killed to Eric. He left it, Benny. Benny doesn't miss those. Excellent shot from him. It's now 4-3 in favor of Donubs.
You can never count Benny out with the op.
Never count
My
that man
ult's
out.
ready.
He will hit shots that you think are, quite frankly, impossible and terrifying. Because that's just the kind of jet player he is.
Yeah, once again, F5 looks like the weak point is definitely their post plants. They just need to find a way to play more together and fight the same side. Right there, they were playing front side and back side, so split, giving them 2 1v1s.
Now, the question remains, are they finally going to go to the A-bomb site?
It looks like it.
Pinged it. That's a start. That's a start. They've actually pinged it this time. I don't think I've seen them ping anything. Nope, they pinged C as well.
Oh, was that Quack with an op over there?
Pinging everything, I guess. With a flash through again.
It's like,
Immediately gets smoked off by Erok. Poke is so incredibly aggressive.
Standing
They
ahead.
decide, oh, they must be pushing up. I guess we can't go away. Very eager to abandon that A-bomb site and just start poking towards B. They're playing Haven like it's a 2-site map.
yeah, none of the util actually spotted Quack with the op, so they
Spike,
still have it.
unfortunately, Spike flashes himself with that, but Benny still misses the knives. Switch will get that trade, so it is still 4v4 at the end of the game. She gets stunned at the smokes. Erok TP's up top after killing Chun, but gets taken up by Jun. Matcha goes for an aggressive angle, but Quack has spotted a gap in the
I have
fence,
the
and he's going to take on Matcha, who unfortunately could not win that one, Vina. Got in a pretty impressive position here. He has a spike as well. It looks like they are considering that pivot onto. I don't think that there's still one member here, but I suspect that they suspect.
Ooh, looks
Someone
like
is still
Mitchell's
here.
gonna catch
Last
him.
player
Quack
standing.
actually expects it.
Mitchell attempting to catch Quack off guard.
30
but he's
seconds left.
That angle with the operator. Oh, can't be done in that scenario. I don't know if Quack expects one more. Definitely, Jun is able to get that and should be able to get Spike down as well.
20 seconds left in the round. Both players coming CT. Will shoot Spike planted.
Players coming CT. Jun immediately tells A.
Oh, Dart lands
They still
inside
misses
the
the
smoke.
I don't think they heard that TP. Oh, they must have. Good pre-fires Jun. Clinches that round in favor of Donibs. And just the awareness there to be aware of that TP and immediately get an idea of the play that Jun is trying to make here. Yeah, and as we head into round 9, I say that a lot, but it is true. We are heading, in fact, to round 9. We can definitely see that both of these teams have been making some very interesting plays, but almost zero A pressure has been applied, and that's just turning this into like a 2-site game.
Yeah, I'm
And
not
when it's a 2-site game, generally, especially with a map like Haven,
Right
Oh.
here.
sticking to 2 sites is going to make it a lot
Right here.
more
Looks like
slender site
right
space.
here.
Sam might be going for an insta-ult play off.
I am the hunter!
Oh, he's ulting right off the rib. Hasn't really tagged anyone that yet. Although if you could tag the spike, I'm sure he would have there.
Little did Sam realize these guys have knocked on A once this game.
Black catches him through the smoke and kills Chung blind through
Great
that
there.
smoke. What a play from him.
Last
they heard
player
it.
standing.
Eric jumping around, the spike distracted by said jumping, gets killed by Sam. Mitchell, ready to pull it back, gets kill with Quack, but shotgun too strong in close range. Eric cleans it up, 6-3 in favor of X Noobs.
Yeah, now all the ults are just in the favor of Donu, or who is that? F5.
F5.
Yeah, F5 has some fuel, so hopefully they use at least one of them this round.
Yep, all the cards are in their hands here. I want to say that the Sky is relatively close to their ult as well. I don't know if we can get a visual on that real quick, just wait over the scoreboard, but I do believe that they are quite close to just having all 5 ults on the table here.
And who would have guessed it? Leaning C once again.
Get out of my way!
And actually, it's the character this time.
The Jet Knife's being pulled almost immediately. I think if they can manage to get the... Oh my god! Immediately denied by Benny. That crisp shot with the operator. They can back away, and they're fine with that because it's still a 4v5.
Yeah, look at this. Quack actually picked up the 4 on A.
Spike planted.
Oh, it's just already going to be the shotgun spam just randomly managed.
One enemy remaining.
Spike 3-1, but they're coming. Donoobs are on their way. They will not miss that shot onto Mitchell.
Is that his third off 3K?
7-3. And honestly, that's kind of how I feel right now. I'm in a little bit of disbelief myself.
Yeah, F5 just has no response to Benny's op.
He's just so strong when it comes to hitting those shots. And again, I will point it out every single round, but yet again, they have not gone A. Around in this game now, I don't know if there's going to be a point where they just decide, hell, we're just going to 3-stack C. Looks like this is actually the round. They might do it. I don't think anyone is holding A here, and at this very moment, all of the members of F5 are holding A right now. Was this actually a 10 million IQ play? It's time to find out.
Oh, they're in the A lobby. Let's go.
Turret holding C, and that's giving them a reason to pause. But oh my god, I can't believe it. They're actually hitting A now after 10 rounds of exclusively choosing to go B and C. They have finally decided and
Spike down A.
Value before being traded out by Spike.
Here.
I've got your trail.
The reach after shot goes to the reposition entirely. That might be so detrimental because if they can't get the spike down, it's going to make it so much easier for Donups to just completely deny everything.
Spike planted. Shadows traveling.
One head, or maybe all 3 CT.
Oh, they're just gonna hold that main,
Spike
but
is
Spike is
two.
able to get one. Spike
Goes
is
out.
2 actually, before being dropped by Quack. Through a smoke it looked like as well. So impressive that he's able to hit those shots.
It should just be a standard 1,
Quack
2,
has got
3
some left. They
swing
have
off
this
me.
crossfire. They're holding crossfire quite well, but Jun is having none of it. That is a 4th round for F5. Can they get to 5 and live up to that name and that legacy?
Last round in the half.
Hey, first time they go A, they win. I don't know. Maybe they
First time
should
they go A, they win.
later.
Yeah.
I need a drop.
I feel like maybe it was a strat. Maybe we weren't reading the strat that they had all along. Oh yeah, they immediately have 2 people stationed to A right away, and just like 2 util
there.
heavy characters too.
Yeah, this is kind of a common trend with F5 though. It seems like Mitchell holds his ult until the very last round, and then only uses it once, whereas he could have used it twice this half. If they just planted or put the ult down A short when Soba didn't have ult, they could have had it for free, but hopefully they don't use it this round.
A little closer than I think they would like, but he does not have the ult right now, so this is arguably their best chance to just throw the KJ ult down and try to go for a site take right here. But as I say that, it looks like the defense crawling up A site. They've cleared that Killjoy turret. They're holding so far up. I mean, Quack's position is not something you would expect to see here. And you might get a lot of value about that if they decide to be a little aggressive.
Yeah, it looks like Chung doesn't have a drone there, so it's going to be really hard re-clearing A lobby here, and I decide to do that.
But he goes for a cheeky shot here, pulls up the knives, but Spike snipes him out of the sky, and he falls to the ground.
Cover going out.
Quack, he has the flank here, but the attacking Killjoy ult is actually going to result in a
Spike
delay
planted.
in being able to capitalize on that. And Matcha, by the time he's able to push, Matcha is ready for Quack.
It looks
Takes
like
him out.
this is the proper read here there. Oh, maybe not. They aren't expecting
Scanning
flank.
ahead.
Now they should be.
Alright,
No chance.
as Killjoy is trading one back, Kills are going back and forth. It's now a 2v2. Donuts has cleared Chung. 2 people pushing out from B.
Last player standing.
Jun gets
One
a
enemy
trade as
remaining.
Donuts kills Matcha. You see 1v1
Time is
Suj
running low.
versus Jun. Oh, he's just holding it. He knows he's holding
sees
it. He
the
can see the
thread.
spike going up.
Oh my
He just chooses
goodness.
to push through at, an unexpected moment. I thought there was definitely a moment where Suj thought he could get away with that because he did continue to hold
Switching
it even
sides.
at half. That was very, very scary, but
We can see the
showing
gears
he does have a
turning.
level head on his shoulders. He doesn't get that out.
7-5, not bad. Better than last map.
Yeah.
For F5
Again.
at least.
They are F5. They're not F7. They're
That's true,
F5.
that's true.
This may have been intentional. This may have been a strat. perhaps. And maybe as they're on the defensive half, they can truly show us, how they run it down.
Yeah, this is really gonna be a test of F5's coordination here because Haven defense is very hard to play, especially against a team with experience like Donubes.
All right, and they're holding it pretty spread out. Jet, holding from A link,
Revealing
so she's able to just run in and help solo if necessary. So she's throwing into spam, not gonna find a lot of value. Has tagged Jun, but doesn't really know it. Aerok has a shorty, so Jun is able to take advantage of that wonderful position that he's got.
Spike down.
Throwing out some shock darts, spamming the bullets through, and at the end of the day, it looks like F5, if you have that advantage in numbers right now, it's now 2 versus 4.
One enemy remaining.
Chilling around your B main, and Macha hitting a wonderful shot. There's one person left in the Benny. Oh! Such a clean shot. Macha!
Damn. The very classic Haven v Donube strat was not able to successfully be pulled off. I think it just was way too forced with the front B smoke. They should have realized that there were just too many people there and canceled, but...
Just ran into a slaughterhouse, really. Just got picked off one by one there. And Donuts got killed as he tried to back away because it was just too late. As we head into the next round, let's keep in mind that Team F5 has significantly better weapons going into this. Ooh, unfortunately, Quack messes up the Jiggle Puke because Macha is just able to snipe him out of the air.
Macha's heating up.
Macha is absolutely heating up. The question is, will he just overheat, though? Ooh, he's holding an angle. Holding a very tight angle, too. He's holding a relatively tight angle. And I think he is relying on that B push because they've got 2 people stacked on B site right now, but they also have 2 people on A. And Chung is hearing some noise from Donubes that they are making. It hasn't been an entirely silent approach. And Benny has approached up to the site. He has a stinger, and it does kill Benny, but Donuts is immediately able to trade with that wonderful sheriff headshot. But the difference in guns is really showing right now. Team F5 are managing to stay ahead with that marker in that area. Aerok only has the classic, but can't get the right click here. Makes it happen. He cannot. Jun takes him out. We are now 7 apiece.
All tied up.
Yeah, and, you could do better on that round, but you most certainly could do worse. 2 guns gone. I don't know. I don't recall if they got the spike down. I don't believe they did, correct? Did they get the spike down that round?
They did not.
Yeah, which is a little unfortunate in terms of finances. And, as you can see, because of that, we have some of the members playing with light armor as opposed to heavy armor. But overall, not a bad round. It could have obviously been a lot worse. We've got the cat yet again. I'm very confident it's a cat
I think
now.
it's a cat. I think it's a dog.
I'm so confident it's a cat, but okay, that's fine. I'll yield on this one. You're the Valorant expert among the 2 of us. So that's a very excellent blind. Will catch Spike unawares and allows Sushi to push up. Mitchell's free to trade. Gets kill the Quack as well. Benny kills Mitchell. Jun kills Benny. Jun, misses the shots on the Donuts there. Had an opportunity to get some very, very huge kills.
Very ambitious TP there.
And I think they actually do know where both players are here. Can Chung find some value in this information?
Gets a good timing on the walkout.
I don't know if they expected it. He is close up, but Aerok, unfortunately, these bullets just simply do more damage.
Yeah, that was a pretty good round though for a bonus.
Yeah. F5 had a pretty solid anti-eco, all things considered. They were walking into it with worse guns and did take 3 of those guns away. So now, Donuts actually have 1 Spectre on the board at a time where F5 have 3 rifles, 1 Operator, and an Odin on the hands of Spike.
Yeah, they just saved all their money just so they could get these big, beefy guns for 3rd round.
You would typically expect an Odin on a character like Sova and Fade who can reveal enemies through walls, so I'm interested to see what Spike is cooking up here. Ooh, Mitchell Jiggle peeks the Sova drone and will get value out of that because he does not get tagged. He does not even have to back away. He chooses to keep on going. He is blinded though, gets fired at a lot, and unfortunately is just enough to take him out of commission. Spike holding that Odin, so he can't really go for a super aggressive push. He is going to have to wait for his team
planted.
Peeks out. Pavin throws a dog immediately. And even though we know exactly what the dog did there, the dog did some, it's stunned very nicely there. But now Quack has that Odin, and that's a lot more dangerous than because they have a Sova to capitalize on it.
You're just gonna try to get away here with the op.
Manya does manage to make one kill happen. It isn't going to be a flawless round, but Quack is pretty close. He's going to get that kill as well. Really good timing outside of Macha to do that swing there.
Does he get
Somewhat
another?
aware of what's happening here. He sees one person, he sees two, has the dash, he dashes away, but Donuts is waiting for him on the A side, and
Great flank.
but he can
there by
predict that.
Donuts.
with as little information as he has. So Donuts gets a 9. Donuts gets a 9.
Yeah, that's kind of fatal. They aren't able to keep that off for this bonus or save round going into here. Looking like it's going to be 10-7 unless F5 has some sort of trick up their sleeve.
You simply cannot tell me that's not a kill. But yeah, as we head into this round, we can see that it looks like they may be considering a B execute here, considering the pushes onto grass as well.
Shadows traveling.
Yeah, this might be their B strat they were trying to go for.
Get
on
out of
this
my way!
round.
Shadows traveling.
Yeah.
This
But
time they
obviously
might
with the
get
guns,
away
it
with
is going to be a little easier to go for. Unfortunately, Benny misses every single knife, so it's going to be a little difficult to take space. But Eric and Susan are still able to do so.
Spike is
Spike
in.
runs in with the Bucky, gets a kill on the Benny, but does not pick up Benny's gun, and that turns out to cost him as Susan is able to get that trade.
One enemy remaining.
John caught unawares by the disappearance of that smoke, and Mitchell cannot quite get this game sheriff shots he's been hitting so far in these eco rounds. So Donuts are up to 10.
Look for my shadows.
Yeah, it seems like Donoobs have just complete control of the pace of this game right now on attack. Just because they have clear, like, strats they've dry run time and time again. F5 need to find a way to do some sort of early aggression to disrupt these plays.
The thing is, with a map like Haven, where it takes so long to rotate, they aren't able to muster up the firepower enough to sort of disrupt Donoobs from doing what they try to do.
They're so A against a fast
Standing ahead.
He throws out the dart, is going to
There
get
they
some
are.
value out of that. He picks 2 actually, so he is aware that this is most likely an A push. So he backs away, waits for his team to come in. And that is going to be posted up onto Heaven before the execute occurs. So it looks like they might actually try to fight this after all. With Mattia just sort of chilling up in Heaven right now. Haven't got the spike down yet. They haven't attempted
So should be
to. They are
phased
waiting.
soon.
Interestingly, they did in fact wait all the way for the spike to go down. And Chung does try to aggress a little too early and gets caught out for it by Benny. They know that Mattia is playing Heaven now. They do desperately want that off out of his hands. He's gonna double up draft, but Spike is there
I
to get that
respect the
kill.
play. Does Quack not know he has bomb? Why is he not landed yet?
So interesting because that
Last
gives Mitchell the
player
opportunity to drop
standing.
down, get kills with the Quack
Spike
and
down
Arrow.
A.
Kills Sudge. Well, interesting that they simply chose not to plant in that scenario. Jen holding the wrong way, but is able to pivot to Donuts and ensure that kill. That is the 8th round for F5.
I don't know what just
Not sure
happened.
what occurred there that resulted in Mitchell not being able to plant that spike. It didn't seem like there was anything obstructing him from doing so, unless we get another tech pause called right now.
Perhaps Donuts was calling him not to plant so that he could get a strong lurk up, but then everyone died? I'm not sure.
It's interesting. Like, we don't really know what they were planning in that round there because it seemed so unusual. I mean, I'm sure there is definitely an explanation of some kind for it, but I honestly couldn't tell you what that might be.
Yeah, but here we have Quaxel up. I'm expecting just a fast seat hit here.
Spike throws that flash around the corner. After that, after all this utility being thrown at Spike, one after another, Mitchell's just going to keep on spamming, and he's going to get so much value out of that. Benny's low.
Look at Matya.
Oh my god, Matcha throwing out Fury is going to get not enough value out
Oh,
of
but
it.
Donuts is so rare.
But 2 members of Donuts
Wow.
are already so low, and Donuts is able to clear Matcha as well. Oh, the TP onto the A side, it looks like it's going to be caught off guard. Eric has no idea that Chung is still holding A side, and this attempt to push onto A has been completely stuffed.
Practically a 3v like 1 here with Jet and Sova on Donoobs very low. Junior's all running out B.
They have no choice but to attempt to go for a
Spike
B execute
down,
here, so
B.
this is the easiest site to try and get onto. But
They
Donuts
took
is
us down.
able to kill
My
Spike here,
ultimate
so
is
now
ready.
the dream is most definitely not dead. The defender, Killjoy, are going to go down here just to try to
Last
hide.
player standing. 30 seconds left.
Jun is going to drop Betty, and Jun is going to drop Donuts as well, just going to push up and get that kill as well. It was very difficult for them to get out of that situation once the Killjoy ult was placed down in an attempt to close that round out.
I really like Manya's A aggression there. He just got so much information for his team. Fortunate Donuts was just too aware though.
Yeah, and that just goes to show the job of a duelist isn't just entirely about, filling up the scoreboard. It's about getting that entry, getting that information for the rest of your team, such that they can move forward even without you and still win that round. And I think that Machu's doing a pretty good job at that.
Yeah, this will be interesting to see because we got Donoobs with Killjoy and Sova ult with no sort of counter on Defender's side with no Sova ult up yet, so we might see either a fake plant or just a straight A take with a Killjoy ult down short.
Want to see another blind ult. I mean, it's not as viable an attack, but after that first one, I just really want to see, some sort of vindication for the last one. I just want to see him get it. Yeah, and as we wait for this timeout to just sort of wind down really quickly here, it gives Team Donoobs a chance to sort of calm their heads. F5 has caught up, but they're still in the lead. They still have decent utility, even though they don't have very good guns this round. They actually do not have very good guns this round. I did not notice that.
Need help.
Okay, they're buying up now. They don't quite have enough to bring a very good buy to this, but they do have
Standing
3
ahead.
sheriffs. And
Yeah.
sheriffs can do a lot on a good day.
Most likely won't see these ults come out. Perhaps Sova ult, but definitely not Killjoy ult then, since their eco is so bad.
The buy is not good enough to justify, these high value ults being thrown in this round where it's not as likely that you're going to win.
Yeah. Donoobs right here just looking for any sort of mistakes from F5, but it looks like F5's not going to give up anything, just going to play discipline, knowing that they have bad guns.
Yeah, it's a little more difficult for them to take any sort of space here. It gives F flow. They're just kind of vibing on their respective sides. They have the crossfire set up on B as well, which is going to be so deadly if Donuts actually ends up deciding to push it. He's the only one with a rifle, and losing Donuts here would be so costly for the side of Donut. Ooh, and the aggression is starting to show. They pushed out a little bit into the garage, but Arok is able to get that kill on the Jun almost immediately. That headshot could prove so fatal.
They are not going to get that gun at all, but still up a
30
man.
seconds left.
Look at him fast rotating towards A.
Yeah, I like Spike grabbing that gun and keeping it out of barrage just to try and increase the chances that Donuts are able to take it. They are still kept on versatility.
Oh, Manya and Shung are out. Get back to the site.
Ooh, Benny and Donuts immediately clear out Matcha and Chung. Benny with a very nice headshot at Donuts. He has that rifle. He has the one hero rifle, and it's definitely paying dividends for him right here. It's now a 2v5. This would be a remarkable, almost thrifty round, if it's not a thrifty round. They had significantly worse utility, and they're coming into this round so much worse for wear, it seemed.
Last player
Spike jumps out
standing.
onto the Raptors, but unfortunately Benny is holding it down so calmly, so well, and he gets the final 2 kills to bring Donoobs to 11-9.
They think they
Yeah,
know me.
the answer was there in Garage, but just with the wrong timing with the util. Unfortunate that they were able to get that pick and just open up the map.
Yeah, F5 definitely had the right idea, but like you said, the timing was just not correct. Donoobs delayed their push just that much more longer, and that snowballed into them just winning the entire round.
Yeah, now that they won that eco, they got full weapons here, so we'll definitely be seeing Killjoy ult at least come out here. Looks like just a standard A Killjoy ult.
All those high value ults to sort of take space here. Jay has been stunned. They aren't quite pushing him. But that Killjoy turret is going to be throwing a little bit of a wrench in the plans. Oh, and now it spotted him too. It's gonna have to back away. The noobs are still holding strong. They're still holding a main. They haven't quite decided which direction they want to head to site into yet. But they're going to have to back away. They're backing away entirely, heading towards the C site. They have predicted that maybe they've attracted attention towards A, but it's actually the opposite. They have two people on C site. Sky holding, CT,
Yeah, looks like
and then they immediately back away.
Donut's
Two
gonna drop that
members.
ult and pull players towards A, but then the
All
team is
three
just gonna
people
exec C.
immediately leave the C
But look
site.
at Maya, he reads the scenario and has the op down C1.
Oh, he hits Quack so close to collateral,
How
but
is that
Benny
not a
is
collapse?
there.
Oh, he did hit Benny. Benny's
No
a
touch,
6
Quack.
HP.
Benny's 6B. It
It doesn't matter
matter.
though. Oh, finds 2!
Matter if Benny's simply going to kill Spike and Mitchell immediately
Gets
anyway.
blinded by E-Rock again.
Gonna peek out into Benny.
One enemy remaining.
Gets one as well, but it's now a 1v2 that Chung is going to somehow have to win. The drone goes out as well, so they can just spam through the wall. So they can win here. So much util for them to spam with. If Suj wants, he can run down C main. He can run down as well. But doesn't even have to because he takes out Chung with ease. Donuts are now on match point, series
Match
point,
point.
tournament point.
Yeah, this is for all the marbles, the whole Marianne.
This next round could decide everything.
Sova ult still is available for the T side.
And as we head into what could potentially be the final round of the evening, we can see we have two members of F5 just sort of ready to run it down A long, and five members of Donuts itching
Nowhere
to
to
make that
run!
pull. Ooh. Sova ult immediately thrown out, is going to tag one, but not really going to find a kill. That damage is so important though, gives him an idea of where the enemy team is hiding.
Oh!
And Monja gets the headshot on the Donut before backing away, not even taking that much damage in the process. TP's up, but is spotted by Spike.
Spike down
Gets
A.
the Spike.
Time to
At 4v3, question is F5 able to play their members and play disciplined?
Is going to be spotted as well, but is going to win that gunfight. Now 3v3 again until Jun has something to say about
Spike
it.
down A.
Good
Just
TP.
keep me away. He has correctly guessed that no one else is playing, in the sewer.
One enemy
Mitchell,
remaining.
such a clean shot. Immediately traded by Quack. He doesn't expect there to be two there, but Jun can hear
Last
jumping
player
around.
standing.
But it doesn't matter because Quack is just going to flick and get the shot anyway.
We have
I
seen
don't
Carson
know.
before.
Quack has no idea where Matcha is. Matcha has no idea where Quack is.
Oh, he saw the
Who's
barrel.
first. Looks like the person who sees the other person first is going to be Matcha. He gets a clean headshot on the Quack. And 12. Let's go. One more.
Yeah, I really like F5's ability to take early A main control there with Sky all the way up deep. Were not expecting that at all. And then Maya, just no fear, swinging out grass, taking a page out of Benny's book. Great early pick.
That early pick really
Need a drop.
changed a lot of. It really shifted the momentum a little more than I think anyone anticipated.
I honestly think they need to just keep doing that, even though it's risky. They need to maintain control of this pace.
You are 1 point away from winning the series. You have to play a little risky.
But not quite in that
Quack.
fashion.
One taps Spike through the smoke. Check his
My
PC.
ult ready.
Going insane. This is not normally.
Now it is a 5v4 with Quack with ult. This is going to be very difficult.
Oh, he's trying to keep me away. Can't quite do it in time. Benny
What
wheels.
is
it
F5
back in.
doing?
Taking anything
Everyone's
away.
just walking up and inting.
Get out of my
He
way.
has only a Guardian and he cannot hit a shot, sadly. And
Off
then
your feet!
Quack will be happy to take that.
This is going to take a miracle for Maya.
The breach all clear sight, and Mitchell has been tagged as well, so it's a 2v5 take
Potential
here.
some inting CT.
Last player
And Benny is
standing.
perfectly willing to use all 5 knights to get rid of Matcha there. It is a 1v5 now. That's one left, and Benny ends it all.
Attackers
13-10. Donoobs have taken the series. Donoobs have taken the tournament, and they have won it all for a second consecutive year.
Proving themselves as the best team at University of Washington 2 times in a row.
Oh,
Look at Benny up there. 7
up
first
there.
bloods.
28 kills. That is 9 kills more than the. That is 8 kills more than the second highest kill count, which would be Jun with 20.
It is a crime they don't have Benny on Jet on every map.
Yeah, it's an average combat score of 338. That was a stellar performance from Benny. And even though F5, they ran it down, they got 5 rounds in the first half. They did everything. They seemed to do almost everything right, but Donoobs had an answer for everything that they did. Really, like, even though it was such a close game throughout, like, in the end, Donoobs won, and you were like, yeah, that makes sense. Donoobs won. valiant effort from them, but just not quite enough to, jump the final hurdle.
Yep. And that is going to be 50 big bucks heading to each one of these players. Do you know what the prize is for second place?
I believe second place will get 25, so not as much. You feel okay about that.
Everybody's still a winner here.
Everyone's still a winner, unless you lost in this case, but that's too toxic. I'm sorry. Anyway, that has been the Husky Expo Valorant Tournament. Congratulations, X Noobs, yet again. Thank you so much for joining us at our live Husky X event, and thank you to WGA for hosting us. Let's give them a little round of applause, yeah? Remember to check us out at UFWA Esports on most platforms, Twitter and YouTube, UW Esports. Join the Discord if you're interested in opportunities like this. Check out the UW Esports table if you got any questions about any of that. And a quick reminder, all of our teams, Overwatch, Rocket League, Valorant, they're having tryouts for next year. So if you're interested in that sort of a thing, you should make sure to register for the tryouts for these teams by June 2nd. Remember that date.
June 2nd.
Positions such as player coordinators, broadcast coordinators, community coordinators are also open to apply for today. A QR code is available at the UW Esports table. Thank you so much for everyone who's been here and been supportive of this tournament and of us and of the players. Thank you so much. Have a great Husky X. This has been